to Networking with NIFA. My name is John Turner. I'm Manager of Community Development and Research at the Nebraska Investment Finance Authority. And joining me from NIFA is Elizabeth Fimbries, who's the Communications and Outreach Manager.
Good morning.
So those of you that have worked with NIFA for many years know we like to network, and we've had over the years 2 networking opportunities, one called Capital City Breakfast Club in Lincoln and one called Omaha AM in Omaha. And due to the pandemic, we've decided to do that via webinar, and all of our webinars are on our website. You can view those, and this one will be recorded as well today. Today we are joined by Brooke Goedert of Nebraska Innovation Campus. Her presentation will be available also on our website. You can go to www.nifa.org and go to our community development page. If you have questions today, we ask that you use the question feature, and we will be monitoring those throughout Brooke's presentation, and then we will ask those at the end. So I think we're ready for you, Brooke. Thank you again for presenting today.
Great. Thank you, John. Well, good morning, everybody. My name, again, is Brooke Goedert, and I am the Culture and Operations Manager for Nebraska Innovation Campus.
Yep, I just shared the screen with you. There you go.
Wonderful. Hopefully you can see my slides now. Well, again,
Yes.
Thanks for joining me virtually today. I'm excited to provide you with an overview of Nebraska Innovation Campus and share with you our progress since breaking ground in 2012. So here's a look at the Nebraska Innovation Campus Development Corporation team. We are small but mighty. Dan Duncan is the executive director and began his career at the university back in 1987. Kate Engel, there in the middle, is the Director of Strategic Partnerships and Communication, and she is responsible for recruiting private companies to partner with the University of Nebraska and find their office or lab space here with us. And there's me on the far right. I develop events and implement programs for NIC aimed at creating a robust campus culture that encourages collaboration and partnerships between NIC, the university, and the community. NIC programs are focused on creating opportunities for people with different skill sets to meet and socialize, a critical aspect in developing a culture that embraces and sparks innovation. So Dan and Kate have been working for Nebraska Innovation Campus since 2011, and I joined the corporation in 2017. So you may be wondering, what is Nebraska Innovation Campus? We are a research park with a mission to create and further partnerships between the University of Nebraska and private sector businesses. So our overall goal is to create opportunities, internships, and jobs that attract talent. We are looking at how we can connect these private businesses with the university through either shared research or space, really to create opportunities so that graduates want to stay here in the great state of Nebraska after receiving their diploma instead of maybe moving away for a high-tech, high-paying job. So the main advantage for a company to have a presence at NIC is the opportunity to immerse their team into a collaborative and innovative culture filled with kind of this creative energy. So you really get university talent from faculty to students, and the private sector talent are really all brought together, and connections are facilitated to enhance the opportunity to transform ideas into innovation that impacts the world. So like I said earlier, primarily focus on creating and implementing the programs and activities that encourage these partners to meet one another from across campus and share their ideas. So I'm constantly thinking about how we can connect partners in new and different ways, especially now with COVID. So our partners have a really unique opportunity to actually join the university community and become an affiliate of UNL. So by doing so, they have access to complimentary high-speed internet, reciprocal parking between NIC and UNL campuses. They have access to childcare at the UNL Children's Center, and they can also receive discounted memberships to Campus Rec, to Nebraska Innovation Studio, and Morrill Hall. So in addition, they actually can receive an official white affiliate end card from the university, just like university faculty, staff, and students have. So we're going to look at our location and our master plan. So we are conveniently located adjacent to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln's city campus and just a few blocks from East Campus. So if you're familiar with the Bob Devaney Sports Center, we're just straight east of there, a block. So our close proximity to this large mass really allows for endless opportunities to connect with research partnerships, qualified employees, and motivated students. This has really been key to our success. Plus, we have university buses and vans that run to and from both city and East Campus about every 10 to 20 minutes during the day, so that students are able to actually ride the bus to Innovation Campus and not have to drive their own vehicle or worry about parking. So what does the future of NIC look like? We actually have a 25-year build-out plan, and that's kind of what you're looking at here. By the year about 2037, we're planning to have about 2.2 million square feet of facilities. That means on average, we're putting up an 80,000 square foot building each year. So as of today, we're right on track. Current available space that companies can lease include office space, we have wet labs, we have dry labs, we have pilot plant space, and we have greenhouse space as well. So our current facilities completed to date, as you'll see here, are Innovation Commons, the Food Innovation Center, the Greenhouse Innovation Center, and the RISE building. And this is where we are currently at today. So we actually have 455,000 square feet of facilities complete, plus a brand new teaching and research hotel named the Scarlet, currently under construction, going up in that green space that you see between the Innovation Commons and the RISE building. So on this slide, the location for that hotel is between the far two right buildings. And I will touch more on that here in a bit. So the Innovation Commons building, this is actually where our offices are located. This was the first building on campus complete in 2014. On first floor, you will find the Mill Coffee and Bistro, our coffee shop that is open to the public. They serve food and drink, which is an important part of our culture here on campus. It's been named the #1 off-campus place to study by university students. Other partners located in this building that you see here include Tetrad Property Group. They are the private campus developer. Spreetail, they are an e-commerce company who has strong connections to the Rake School. The Doherty Water for Food Institute is up on the 3rd floor. And then KRVN has a location here. They're a rural radio station owned by its farmers and ranchers. So as we continue to grow and expand this building will really sit at the heart of campus. So the Innovation Advancement Suites is in the Innovation Commons building on that first floor, and it really serves as the perfect place for companies to start their footprint on campus with really that potential to grow. It's a shared office concept with hot desks, dedicated desks, single person offices, and smaller sized office suites that can fit up to about 4 people, all available for lease. So you might be wondering, what is a hot desk or a dedicated desk? So let me tell you. So a hot desk is shown here in the bottom left-hand picture. It's really this open space with multiple desks. And so workers can use whichever desk that they want to that day. So they bring their items with them and then they take them home with them as they leave at the end of the day. Whereas the other term I used, dedicated desk, that would be a specific desk that is yours and you get to leave your items there overnight, come back the next day and know that nobody will be sitting in your chair. So partners that lease a desk or space here, they have access to this space 24 hours a day. They have Wi-Fi that's provided in the space, as well as these 2 conference rooms that you see on the far right pictures there. So this has been really an intriguing space for some international companies looking to start their businesses here in the United States. This gives them a physical address to really establish their business. And we've already actually had both Korean and Canadian companies take space here. The Mill Coffee and Bistro. This is by far my favorite place on campus. I love having meetings here or taking my laptop out to the outdoor patio on a really beautiful afternoon to work. So I hope that you get a chance to visit us. They opened, excuse me, in June of 2017, and it really has been a game changer for NIC. It has really brought the community to us and really serves as kind of our front door of campus. So along with their regular fare of coffee and tea, they also have breakfast, lunch, snacks, as well as wine and regional craft beer and so much more. So this Mill location at Innovation Campus is actually one of 4 Mill coffee shops here in Lincoln. So the Innovation Commons building is really kind of 2 buildings connected by a glass link. So the south building that we're looking at here is actually the former 4-H building. This is where sheep and cattle used to be shown when this served as the livestock show ring during the Nebraska State Fair. So that's right, if you didn't know, NIC sits on the same piece of land where the Nebraska State Fair was held for over 100 years. It was here from 1901 actually up to 2009. So we kept 2 historic buildings, this building here, and then the former Industrial Arts building where quilts were displayed. So all the other buildings that were here were in really poor condition, and those buildings were torn down to kind of start the construction of our campus. So now this beautiful renovated brick building houses the NIC Conference Center and Nebraska Innovation Studio. That is our makerspace here on campus. If you go in this building, you'll notice that we kept the original barn doors. So you'll get to see kind of right where the livestock entered the show ring. And also while cleaning out this building, the architects found the 4-H dedication plaque that was dated 1931. So they cleaned it up and put it right back on the brick wall in its original location. So you'll actually see it still on the wall up there by the banquet hall on the second floor. The architects, I have to say, they did a really nice job nodding to the history of this building while also making it very tech savvy and forward thinking. The NIC Conference Center is operated and managed by the Nebraska Alumni Association. The facility includes a 400-seat auditorium with power at each seat. It includes a large banquet hall and 8 breakout rooms. So this can be rented by anybody in the community or at the university. This facility right here is actually where I started my career at Innovation Campus. I was working for the Alumni Association back in 2014, and when we first opened its doors. So the next location on campus that I want to talk about is Nebraska Innovation Studio. This is our makerspace. It's the largest makerspace in Nebraska. It's a place where creators of all sorts can really share ideas, tools, and knowledge. It's really more than just a building full of tools. It's really about building that culture of innovation. So some space that you'll find here includes a newly finished metal shop. We have a wood shop, a rapid prototyping room, and areas to work on things such as electronics, textiles, ceramics, software, printmaking, and quilting. So university faculty, staff, students, and the general community are all welcome to join the studio for a monthly fee. So I'll just say that again in another way. Nebraska Innovation Studio is open to the public, and you do not have to be affiliated with UNL to join. So you can think of Nebraska Innovation Studio as a gym, but with power tools. So members pay a monthly fee to come and use our tools and facilities to really make whatever they want. Members are welcome to run businesses, make prototypes, or just have fun in the space. To give you an idea of the cost of a membership, it's $20 a month for university students. It's $50 a month for faculty, staff, and alumni of the university, and it's $70 a month for anybody in the Lincoln community to join. So we have kind of a wide and ever-changing variety of tools and equipment available. Some of the things that you're going to find here include laser cutters. We have a CNC router that cuts 2D designs, 3D models out of wood, foam, or plastics. We also have 3D printers, a table router, a drill press, a 14-foot long arm quilting machine. We have sewing machines, knitting machines, as well as throwing wheels for pottery and kilns to do all of the firing. So some equipment in this space requires members to complete safety and operational training before gaining access to that specific piece of equipment. And these are generally free, one-time, 1 hour long training session with the staff of NIS. And then members can just sign up for these trainings on our website. So the next building on campus, this is kind of our south building here, is the Food Innovation Center. This today is the largest facility on campus, and it's home to the Food Science and Technology Department, all of those faculty, staff, and students. We have the Food Processing Center here. We have the Nebraska Food for Health Center, as well as the Food Allergy Research and Resource Program. So this building opened in 2015, so a year after we moved into our new offices. And you can see here, this is actually 2 buildings merged into one. So that other historic building I was talking about, the Industrial Arts Building, is the south part of this building. So you can see it kind of in the back of this photo here on the left. So it's connected to this brand new 4-story lab building. So the first and second floors of this building are where those university students in the food science and technology department attend class and have instructional labs as well. So the Food Processing Center is really focused on providing tools, services, and expertise for the food industry. They really not only serve the food industry here in Nebraska, but their programs have a global reach. Clients range from startup food companies who are just getting off the ground, all the way up to the biggest food companies in the world who are looking at new technologies or pieces of equipment that they don't already have in-house. The pilot plants have equipment such as kettles, spray dryers, canning retorts, extrusion capabilities shown here in the left-hand photo, and high pressure processing. So they work really with small quantities of food before moving into bulk capacities for testing. So the Food Processing Center is really a great partner to Innovation Campus because they're also looking to create more jobs by having food companies locate, grow, and expand here in Nebraska. Next is the Biotech Connector. This is a collaboration between the entities listed here, and this serves as an incubator for bioscience startups and high-growth biotech research-based businesses in the ag sector. It's the first wet lab space of its kind in Nebraska and is located on the 4th floor of that Food Innovation Center. It's currently home to 5 companies. You might be wondering what a wet lab is. So a wet lab is one where drugs, chemicals, and biological matter can be analyzed and tested. So equipment in this space includes things such as an autoclave, fume hoods, a -80 degrees freezer, glass washers, biosafety cabinets, and so much more. So companies have the option to rent as little as just 6 feet of space in a shared common lab, all the way up to over 2,000 square feet in their own private lab if they wish to do so. So the Greenhouse Innovation Center is a state-of-the-art greenhouse employing purple LED green lights that are tuned into the color spectrum that plants need to do their best growing. So this greenhouse was built around a specific piece of equipment, and that is called the LemnaTec High Throughput Plant Phenotyping System. Say that twice. This system has plants on conveyor belts that move around the greenhouse to nutrient and water stations. And then at specific times, they move out of the greenhouse into the head house there. And they go through high-res camera bays where measurements that are barely noticeable to the naked eye can be taken. So there's only a few facilities like this in the world, and UNL is proud to be one of them. The RISE building, this is our newest building complete, which opened in October of 2018. It is the first build-to-spec building on Innovation Campus, meaning companies who lease space in the RISE, they have a lot of input as to what their spaces are going to look like and how they function. Current partners in this building include Virtual Incision, Solarion, the Nebraska Safety Center, and the Combine. So the Combine is an incubator for ag and food related startup companies. It's a statewide initiative supporting high growth entrepreneurs in food and agriculture. So the program consists of commercialization support through mentorships, a capital readiness program. They offer networking events, and they have a network of partnering producers across the state, as well as the physical incubation space that's on the first floor of RISE. So this incubator opened in October of 2019, and it's actually already home to 9 companies. So our current project, you maybe have heard about, under construction, is this 154-room Marriott Tribute Hotel, set to open in July of 2021. The official name is the Scarlet. The Scarlet will be a teaching and a research hotel located on the intersection of 21st Street and Transformation Drive. So plans include a full service restaurant, which will be the first one here on campus, a coffee shop, a sandwich shop, kind of an expanded fitness facility so that any companies that are out here can actually buy a membership to that gym, as well as a rooftop bar and educational space for the university's hospitality, restaurant, and tourism management program. So this is going to serve as a high-end learning laboratory, really providing a competitive advantage for Nebraska grads that are in the hospitality industry. Students are going to be in the real world, close to the action, learning and gaining hands-on experience in a world-class hotel. Not every university has a teaching hotel on their college campus, and so the Scarlet is really going to set us apart and attract some of the best and the brightest hospitality students to the university. As an HRTM grad myself, this is something that I wish we had when I was in college, but that was really only a concept or kind of just a dream at the time. So the hospitality, restaurant, and tourism management program, they're already a national academic leader, and the Scarlet Hotel will really enhance its reputation and propel it forward with this living, learning laboratory. So many partnerships were created to make the Scarlet a reality. Some include Tetrad Property Group, the hotel owner who put forth the private dollars to build this teaching and research hotel. Clint Runge and his team with Arch Rival. They're a creative marketing agency right here in Lincoln. They created the hotel's identity and essence. Curioso is the hospitality interior design firm. They focused on delivering the guest experience. DLR is the architects who designed the Scarlet, and also McCarthy Construction, the ones making it happen. So we're really thrilled to be adding this exciting addition to our campus. We want it to be Lincoln's premier hotel and really one of the best hotels in the state. So it's inspired by Nebraskans, filled by Nebraskans, but made for anybody who wants to experience Nebraska in a night. The Scarlet name, it obviously pays homage to our alma mater, but also the scarlet color kind of immediately unites us as a state. So it's ideal for business partners doing work with Innovation Campus, guests attending events at the NIC Conference Center, an alumni in town, or parents visiting their sons and daughters. From the moment that you walk into the lobby to when you fall asleep in your bed, you'll see and taste and feel Nebraska. Every single guest room is going to highlight a different Nebraskan, honoring untold stories and diverse individuals who have called this place home. So to nominate a Nebraskan, you have until next Friday, September 11th, to do so. So you can go to www.scarlethotelnebraska.com. And if selected, the nominee or a nominee's family member will receive a one-time complimentary 2-night stay in the hotel, valid through 2022. So be sure to check that out. All right, now I'm going to kind of transition to sustainability and what we do as a campus, as we are really committed to taking care of our environment. We really do so in 4 ways. So through our central renewable energy system, by striving to be a zero waste facility. We have smart buildings, which means if there's lights in the hallway or an office and there's no motion, they just go ahead and shut off, or if there's already enough natural light in the building, those lights just won't even turn on during the day. So if the lights maybe seem like they're off, it's for a reason. And then also we have minimum LEED Silver design standards as well. So here's a look at how the CRES heating and cooling system works. When we first were building the infrastructure for NIC, many aspects were really taken into consideration, including employing the newest and the most creative technology to heat and cool all of our buildings on campus, including our greenhouses. So the CRES system uses reclaimed, non-drinkable water from the nearby Teresa Street wastewater treatment plant. And that can actually heat and cool up to 1.675 million square feet of offices and labs on NIC. So this award-winning loop, it transfers thermal energy and underground piping to the entire campus. This system is even more efficient than a geothermal system because of the consistent water temperatures provided by the wastewater treatment facility just located a block northeast of us here. Everywhere on campus, you will find this 3 waste bin system. We have single stream recycling for plastics, tins, bound paper, and those sorts of things. Our goal is to divert about 85% of our waste stream out of the landfill and into the organics bin, the green one there in the middle. So as you can imagine, in a normal year, the conference center has a lot of food waste, but we also implement this 3-bin waste system across campus. So even in all of our individual offices, we all sort kind of our trash and everybody gets educated on where things go. In that organics bin, we also collect things like hand towels, Kleenexes. The Mill Coffee and Bistro has really great to-go cups that can also go into the organics bin. In addition to this 3 waste bin system, we also have implemented these hefty energy bags for kind of those hard to recycle plastics, such as chip bags, candy wrappers, foam, and straws. So these items are really collected by our recycler and then they're turned into valuable resources. So it's an additional measure to really divert resources from going straight to the landfill. So although campus has been operating kind of at bare bones since early March, some units on campus though have been working around the clock to produce personal protective equipment during the current pandemic. And so that's what I'm going to talk about now for just a little bit here. So the food processing center, they really pivoted into a manufacturing hub for producing hand sanitizer in partnership with the ethanol producers across the state from basically April 5th to when they ended the production on July 31st. So the project was first conceived by Hunter Floodman, an associate professor of practice of chemical and biomolecular engineering, and Jan Tenbenzel of the Nebraska Ethanol Board. So the food processing center was chosen as the production site, which required registration with the FDA to be an over-the-counter drug production facility. And Floodman went to work around the clock to really get this temporary plant set up. We knew there was a large demand for hand sanitizer and that the supply chain could not fill it. And they also knew the state of Nebraska had the resources to produce large quantities of hand sanitizer because of the large ethanol industry here in the state. So they brought together private and state agencies along with the university to really accomplish this task. They supplied more than 200,000 gallons of hand sanitizer to K through 12 school districts across the state of Nebraska, hospitals, medical providers, community organizations, essential businesses, and the University of Nebraska campuses. So all hand sanitizer produced met obviously FDA guidelines. Ingredients were 80% alcohol, deionized water, glycerin, and hydrogen peroxide bitterant. And about 98% of the hand sanitizer ingredients were donated by Nebraska's ethanol producers. So this effort really helped us to provide hand sanitizer free of charge to recipients. The other manufacturing hub during the pandemic, Nebraska Innovation Studio, they pivoted to also producing personal protective equipment, including face shields, disposable plastic gowns, as well as hand sanitizer dispensers. They were closed to the public, but its leaders and members worked around the clock to kind of help those hospitals, doctors' offices, and first responders across the state. So this may really be the reason why Nebraska Innovation Studio exists. It's really for people to come together and to make things that help others. So in the end, they produced 33,000 face shields and 2,000 gowns. They established partnerships with the Terry Research Lab in the College of Engineering and local businesses, Firespring, Midlands Packaging, Lincoln Tool and Design, Snap-on, Virtual Incision, and all of those partnerships coming together really helped Nebraska Innovation Studio mass produce entire face shields kind of at a much faster rate than 3D printing would allow. So the efforts have rippled really across Nebraska and the United States. Hundreds of communities and thousands of individuals have benefited from the expertise and innovation found here at NIC. And at NIC, we have over 40 companies with diverse interests and specialties. These businesses, they range from one-person startup companies to Fortune 500 companies. So before leasing space at NIC, all companies must go through a vetting process and be approved by the NICDC Board of Directors to really ensure that they're a good fit for the campus and that their business aligns with the university's initiatives. So we're looking for companies who engage in research or creative activity and are in development or commercialization of really early stage innovations, whose activities are supportive of the university research, and ultimately that company has a relationship with the university, employing students and faculty, or they are open to doing so. So here's a look at our partners' logos. I'll just click for those here. So join us on this journey by liking us on Facebook at Nebraska Innovation Campus. Go ahead and follow us on Twitter, NIC_innovates. You can find us on LinkedIn. We're always, we have space to lease right now, so you can refer a potential company to us, host an event at the conference center, and we ask you also to just share our story with others. So things that you learned today that intrigued you, you thought were interesting or cool, be sure to share them with friends or family. And that concludes my presentation. Thanks for joining me this morning to learn about NIC's development and current activities. And with that, if anybody has a question, feel free to type it into the chat, and I'll do my best to answer those.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Brooke. That I'm blown away. There was so much information, so many great resources. And I will say before I get to questions, one thing you mentioned it, the culture. I feel it when I'm there. Just got a great culture, a great vibe. Of course, I love the mill. I always have, but I love that spot. And yeah, on a nice day, it's so nice to sit out there and do work or think or just visit with people. So,
yes, absolutely. It all starts with, I really think, our buildings and then getting the right folks into those buildings. So yes, yeah. Perfect.
Well, we do have a series of questions here.
Great.
And I'll just kind of go through. Okay. So how much vacant space is there now?
So I talked about the RISE building. Before we built that, we were 100% leased in all of the space that we have. Right now, basically, the only space we have, and we're working with some companies now, would be basically that third floor. I guess you can see it here in my slide, that third floor of RISE. And then just a little bit of that second floor, but everything is built out. We have the hotel, going to be finished next year, and then that's the thing about Innovation Campus. Then we'll be thinking about that next lab or office building.
Okay. And so the other question was how much occupied space is occupied by UNL versus independent businesses. I think you kind of touched on that, but.
Yeah, so our goal is kind of the 75-25 split. We really, our goal is to have 75% of our space with private sector businesses and really 25% being the university. And I think we're if you go back and kind of look at our logos and all of our partners, we're sitting at about right there.
Okay.
We're close to.
How are businesses and non-UNL students screened before they may access facilities?
With the current pandemic?
I think that's what he's referring to. Yeah.
Well, in all of our buildings, since we are in Lincoln, we have the facial covering mandate. So if you're in our buildings, you must wear a facial covering. If you don't have one, we actually supplied, I think we ordered a ton. So if you're a visitor and go to the mill and don't have one, they'll have one there for you to take. The mill is open to the public, but a lot of, like the greenhouse is obviously secured, it's locked down. With Nebraska Innovation Studio, I will say, they have new protocol. With COVID, they have opened, but those folks, those members must already have been a member of the studio. They're not taking, I don't think they're taking new people right now or offering those trainings. They're just trying to get those small businesses in that really need the space to make their items. But they are screened. I know they do like the no touch thermometer to make sure they're not running a fever. And I know they're asked a series of health questions, a questionnaire as well of, you know, have you tested positive for COVID? Have you been around anybody that has? So that specific unit, I know that they have extra measurements in place, and things are kind of stanchioned off too, so that everybody's keeping their space, and they're limiting it to the number of members that can be in there per day. So wear a mask, we all are.
Yeah.
Unless you're in your own private office like me, the door's shut, so I'm good.
And I'm imagining tours are available.
Tours are not available right now. That used to be a big portion of what I kind of used to do before. We would kind of, you'd get to see the studio and the Food Innovation Center and everything, but we are not offering tours right now. So stay tuned, maybe next year.
Yes, right.
We're trying to limit our exposures.
Yeah. In fact, I'm sure tours are a thing that maybe don't happen a lot in the country right now. So
yeah, I know folks over in our the Food Innovation Center, the Food Processing Center, they've actually produced some great just like virtual tours as well. So more of that to come.
Right, that's great.
Yeah.
Elizabeth, you want to take this one?
Yes, the next question is, any research happening at Innovation Campus that could be disease or biologics?
A couple come to mind. Well, we have Solarion, who's a pharmaceutical company in the Rise building. So they're just doing initial testing right now of potential COVID vaccines. So they're doing some of that work literally right now. Up in the biotech connector, all of those companies are bioscience companies. And so the answer is yes. There's a couple of them that are working on prebiotics and kind of different things like that.
Okay, and then another one is, does the Innovation Campus sell day passes or just monthly memberships?
Sure. For Nebraska Innovation Studio, the makerspace, you either pay monthly by semester, or you can pay for a whole year. And if you pay for the annual membership, I think you do get like a month free.
Okay, then do you offer any discounts for low income people or scholarships?
In the studio specifically,
yes,
I'm wondering.
In the makerspace.
I know they have the different brackets that I kind of listed out there, with the students, alumni, and then community. I guess I don't know specifically, they don't have that outlined as
Okay.
something to do, but they may, and I just don't know. I'm not in there every single day. I'm sure they take care of them.
Someone asked a question about, does the Scarlet Hotel replace the hotel on East Campus? And I wasn't familiar with that, but
Does it, well, there is not a hotel on East Campus. There used to be a hotel on East Campus. It is no longer. I know they have classes in that space now, but this is a brand new concept and project specifically for kind of that hospitality industry. To do that, it's got a whole new brand essence and everything. So it's independent of that.
okay. And hopefully I took good notes. I tried to answer this question without asking you. How many rooms in the hotel? I said 154. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, good.
You got it.
6
We need
stories.
154 Nebraskans. So send us Nebraskan names, stories. They're going to start reviewing the naming nominations at the end of, well, here in 2 weeks. So
2 weeks. That was
the 9th is the official last day to nominate. So get them in this week.
ScarletHotelNebraska.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they want really arch rival, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be the most successful Nebraskans. It can be stories about your grandma who did something really awesome. So they kind of want some of those really unique stories to come out and then be shown in the hotel. And then they're hoping if they're living Nebraskan and or deceased, they can maybe get some artifacts from their home or something, and it'll actually be like in that room. So you could stay in their room and have something on the wall about them.
Yeah, that sounds great. You got a shout out. Excellent presentation.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
and then I know you kind of touched on, the safety, but someone asked how has activity been just with the pandemic, with COVID? I mean, activity in general.
Okay, so different parts on campus. I mentioned the studio and food processing center. They kind of went from doing their normal making items to now producing PPE for the state and the United States. And so those two units have been really, really busy, and they've kind of stopped that production and gone back to normal of working with food companies and stuff like that. So they really ramped up in that regard. The conference center, obviously, I think we went 4.5 months. All those events got canceled or postponed. So obviously they have to stay with all the requirements as they've changed. I think right now they're limited still only to a 30% occupancy. So they have started to have events in there, smaller events. Everyone again wears masks, hand sanitizers readily available, kind of all of those health protocols as well. The mill, now with students back on campus, they always find us, they come study here, and there's classes here on campus as well. They are open right now. Today I can say that their hours are weekdays only, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And they had cut those back kind of during the pandemic and haven't been open on weekends, but now that students are back, they will be and are considering opening back up on Saturdays and Sundays. So it's been a shift, an ebb and flow, and just like every kind of, the different campuses and other buildings elsewhere. So But lots of construction. I mean, if you do come visit us, drive by campus, obviously with the Scarlet being constructed right now, there's a lot of activity going on right there. So that's fun to see.
Yeah. And there's no other questions from the audience. Elizabeth, did you have any other comments?
No, I did not. Thanks. That was a great presentation.
Wonderful. Thank you. Well, happy to do so.
Yeah,
Hope you learned something.
yeah, oh, for sure. We really appreciate it. I look forward to seeing the innovations that you come up with, and I need to get out there more. I always am happy when a conference is going to be there. So we actually had a conference there, I think in 2018, and
We did.
got a lot of great compliments on that.
Great.
Yeah. So
We love that facility. It serves us well. It's a great space, and it's fun to talk about all of its historical value and memories. You get people in there and they start telling you about when they showed their sheep, and it's a good time.
Great. Well, very good. So this video, again, is being recorded and it'll be available on NIFA's website. And also, I forgot to mention YouTube. We do have a YouTube channel you could subscribe to. It's NIFA Housing, all one word. All of our webinars are on there. And we have webinars just about every week, except for next Wednesday. So thank you again to Brooke Goedert from Nebraska Innovation Campus. And I think with that, we'll close.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Elizabeth. Have a great rest of your day and stay healthy.
Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.